All right, welcome back. This is a fun episode for me. Look, who wouldn't love to do this? I got to hang fenders, hood, grill, doors. More importantly, we put the glass in. It's never had glass in it since I've owned this thing. So Debbie and I installed the windshield and the back glass. Door glass is yet to come. I've got to do that next. But it was really fun. Got some lights on the thing, waiting for some headlight parts. But it made a big change and I'm excited. I'm in love with it on this episode. I really don't want to sell it. I thought about it, but I think I'm going to keep it now because it's starting to look so good. So come along, watch as we put this thing together. Let's get started. So there's a lot more done to the truck than you're going to see in this video. Unfortunately, we were in the middle of a project for somebody else and we couldn't get away to film. I just worked on this thing as I could and nobody was here to record and I didn't feel like I had the time. So I'm going to show that to you at the end of this video, but I want to let you know that the next episode is going to actually be fabrication. This metal down here on the floor, that's a stack of aluminum. That's going to turn into a bed on the back of the truck, so you'll get to see some fabrication. So stick around for that. Pretty exciting. After, I don't know, 3 years probably of having this glass, I'm getting ready to install it. So went upstairs and dug it out of the dust, and this should be the windshield, 2 pieces of it. Man, that's a big windshield. Hard to imagine, but it is a big windshield. Kenny Youngblood kept telling me, chop it, chop it, chop it. I don't want it chopped. It does look good to chop them, but some of them don't look so good. And then this is the back glass. Let's see, hopefully it's green to match. No, it's smoke, which is okay, which is better because we had the door glasses cut for 1 piece. We had that done locally and they temper it. So this is laminate. All 3 of these are laminated, but the door glass is tempered, which I don't like laminated door glass. The original 53 Chevy would have had laminated door glass, but I don't want that. It's not, it'll crack, and somebody slams the door, you can crack a glass, and if you have to get out of it with a center punch or something, you can't laminate, you won't get out. That's not my big concern. But anyway, we're gonna start putting glass in, and then we'll put fenders and doors and all that fun stuff on. This isn't so much fun. So we've got new rubbers out here, or new rubber. It's actually 1 piece. And I have put these in, but it's been a long time. This has been laying up there and collecting dust, but the center divider is made on it. Mm-hmm. I don't have a clue which way is front and which way is back on this. I assume there's no shape to it. I assume that this would be the out, and that just butts, yeah, it would be. That butts against it, so I'm not looking forward to this, but we're gonna do it. I'm just gonna time lapse this so you don't have to hear me talk and see live boring stuff, but you can follow along as we time lapse it. And if you see me throw something, I probably won't, but if you see me jumping up and down, it's probably because I cracked a window. Yeah, I hope you're not going to see that.
1, 2, 3, 4. Sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la. Ships on fire, planes are landing, never ends a black. No more Marco, no more gangsters, can't servitudes, can't cry. I took the law, I threw it away, 'cause nothing wrong, it's just for play. There's no law anymore. I wanna steal from the rich and give to the poor. It was glowing, 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 glowing in the dark. It was sparkling, 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 sparkling.
Would you look at that? Come look. Back glass. It was not very much fun to put in. I actually kind of boogered it up right here, but we'll not talk about that. The lock strip is easy enough to put in, but the inner bead got cut right there somehow during installation, but it's not bad. I glued it back. Inside it looks so good. Look at the windshield. All it needs is garnish moldings. It's so exciting. Back glass looks awesome. Look at this. Man, I'm cooking with gas. Look at the front windshield. It's gonna be hard for you to see because I got it going. I got this Carolina squat thing going again. I've got it jacked up so I can put fenders on. That's another exciting part. So what I'm doing right now, and somebody might say this is gonna hold water, blah, 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 and it might, but anything you do is gonna hold water. I'm using Velcro because I don't like squeaks and scratchy noises, so I love Velcro. The water will drain through that and run out probably as good as a piece of regular fender welting, but it's so soft it won't scratch too bad. So I've got this side, so do this side here. I already put a piece down the fender. I just like soft Velcro. I use it for a lot of stuff. It's so sticky on the back side. It's not good when you do that. So I'm gonna lay down under my Carolina squat wagon and just stick this up here. I didn't video this because you don't want to see somebody putting a sticker on a car. But I got to thinking maybe somebody needs to know about Velcro. Somebody might not know about how useful it is for so many things. Hood bumpers, anything that might rub paint. I love this stuff. That's what they made it for. Somebody thinks they made it for clothes or something, but they're wrong. It's made for cars. I've used it for decades. All right. So now we get to do the exciting part, the thing that we've been waiting for. Fenders and doors. I can't wait to see the doors on there with the ISKI logo on them. I can't stand to look at it like this, so I just raised it up so I can get to the fenders. But look at the fender clearance when it's raised up. I can drive this thing off-road, but I won't. So I'm gonna get some fenders on it. When we lower it back down, it's gonna be like, oh my God, that truck's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm kind of thinking that way myself. I was kind of out of the mood for it, kind of over it. But with that steering working and the thing moving on its own, I'm kind of liking it again. So let's hang some fenders. Oh, one thing I'm gonna do, I might show you this. I'm gonna go over here and get a crappy screwdriver of some sort. Let me pick one that's basically not much good. I think I found this on the road one time. Fire fixes almost everything. So I put that right over the top of the holes. This is the way I do carpet, like when I gotta find seat belts. I'll open, because if you run a bolt into a piece of carpet, it'll pull right through. But now that's a nice hole. And if I was putting a bolt in a piece of carpet, it won't pull the carpet. There we go. Get that out. Just an easy, quick way instead of having to drill or punch. A nice clean hole. I'm gonna actually cut this right here. I forgot to cut it while I was using these scissors. There we go. Okay, so you're smelling what I'm stepping in. That's perfect. Now it's ready for a fender. I'm gonna go around and do the rest of it, and I'll come back here and hang some fenders. Exciting. Okay.
In the night, I took the law and threw it away. 'Cause nothing wrong is just for me. There's no law anymore. I wanna steal from the rich and give to the poor. Winter turns to summer. Sadness turns to fun. Keep the faith, baby.
Well, you saw a time lapse of it going together because it's really kind of boring to watch somebody hang fenders and put bolts in. But this morning, we came back this morning, and let me back up. I woke up this morning, 4 o'clock. I think it was 4:54. I looked at the clock, and I'm thinking, I'm missing some parts. I'm missing these plates, and I'm missing, what was it? The other main thing that I was missing. We searched all morning.
Door striker.
Door strikers. Something else. There was another thing that I thought, I haven't seen that in a while, because this truck's been sitting around here in pieces. We're going to have so much more shop when all this is hung together. But I woke up thinking about those things. As soon as I got here, I started looking in every corner, and there was something else. I forget what the other big thing was. It wasn't door strikers. But anyway, it was something that I couldn't come up with. And I mean, boy, once we started searching, we come up with all kinds of stuff that was missing, and we found everything, which so far, except the door striker plates. I've got this door all latched. It's ready to rock and roll. The latch works, but these plates they're here somewhere. But it's like one of those things that goes through my mind. If I put them somewhere that I might think I'd find them later, for the last year and a half or 2 years, whatever it's been, if I see those things, I'm gonna put a mental note in my mind. I just do that. And I've racked my RAM and my hard drive, and I cannot come up with a place in the shop. But we've looked in every drawer, every corner, every box. So Debbie's ordering new ones. And I also found these during my wake up time this morning, the big rubber molded pieces. I didn't think I'd ever be able to get that, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but they're available. She's going to order those. We messed around, and I finally found the 4 steel plates that go on the running boards, so I'm going to sandblast those or bead blast them and get them ready. And we found the mats, the rubber mats that go on those, so she's ordering that. One of the things I've been dreading is making window run channels, because this used to have a wing window in it. And you know, those doors that window is tiny. You can't even hardly put your elbow out of that. I don't like wing windows. So I made one piece glass, and I made a pattern years ago and had the glass cut and tempered, but I thought I was gonna have to come back and put run channels in it. Well, much to my surprise this morning, the run channels are already in there. I've already done that. So what I haven't done is the power window regulator. Goes in the center. There is a window stop down here. I've got to figure out what to do. I'll either have to move my regulator off center or cut that out. So the window shouldn't be too bad. If I had door strikers, I could latch the doors, and I've got the other side started. I've got the fender and the running boards on, and I just started messing with the door hinges here. So we're going to hang this door, and then we're going to do the hood, which I'm excited to do. This is the other thing, the hood prop. I thought that was the one that I woke up to at 4:54 this morning thinking, where is that hood prop? I haven't seen it, because if it was around here, I would have seen it. And it's one of those deals that's kind of cool. This is the original one. So when the hood's down, it's like that, but then you raise it up and it stays, and you raise it up and it goes down. It still works like new. I didn't want to have a repop one, but that's going to bolt right there and bolts to the hood. So I tore the place up this morning. I mean, it makes me kind of crazy trying to think, where did I see that last? And I couldn't come up with it. I thought it's not in the truck, because I've been in this truck so much. I looked and it was back here on the floor. So I was really relieved to find that. It's kind of hard to see back there, but I don't remember seeing it. Anyway, the only thing that we haven't come up with is those striker plates, and Debbie's going to order them new. Everything's going on good. We're getting new emblems for the hood and new weather strips to go here, which COE is its own animal. It's kind of confusing. We got to get the weather strip, evidently just goes this far on each side, and then something goes up here. I don't know what, but I got to come up with something. They don't list it anywhere. Getting ready to put the grill, headlights, turn signals, and park lights in. That was another issue I had bought a long time ago. Debbie found them. This is the original lights. Red on one side, white on the other, which is kind of weird. I guess they doubled as maybe a stoplight. I don't know. I think I'm going to put them on. I almost decided I didn't want to put them on, but I'm going to put them on and see if I like them. The only lenses we could find are yellow, so I don't know if I'm going to like them or not. But I finally located the light lenses. They've been buried in a different location upstairs where they didn't belong, but I found them, so that's kind of cool. So that's kind of where we're at. Get this door latched, get the hood on, get the grill on. I'm gonna do lights, and then I'm gonna be out of time, unfortunately. I'm really excited to work on it, but I'm out of time. We gotta go back on the other project that's coming back from being wrapped right now, which isn't my idea. It's for another outfit, and we'll tell you about that one later. But I really want to work on my truck. It's so close, and I'm kind of falling in love with it again. I had kind of fell in hate with it. I was over it. I mean, it's been, when I look back, I sat down last night and I looked at pictures. I started this October of 2019. This is October of 2024. In my book, that's 5 years. I don't think I've ever taken 5 years to build anything. And it's not like I've worked on it for 5 years, but it's been here for 5 years. It's set for 4.5 of those years, but it's just been in the way, and I just kind of got over it. But now that it's...
Something else got built in that time.
55 got built. Lots of stuff happened in that time. When I look at the pictures, I think how much work went into this, just in the chassis and fitting everything up front and narrowing it 8 inches and double Z-ing it and boxing it. And it was just an old, we're gonna have to put some pictures in this video so you can see what we started with. It was molded and rusted out down here. It had moss growing out of it that far. It looked like a river bank somewhere. I don't want to do it again. This is my one and only COE. There's so much engineering went into this to figure out how to make all that drivetrain fit in that very limited space. I'm over it. But I think I'm gonna really like it once it gets going. I had it in my mind I was gonna sell it, but I think I've decided now, I don't think I can sell it emotionally. I'm so attached to this thing. I look at pictures of the girls. Mika, she was in it. She looked like a puppy 5 years ago. So the only ones that hasn't aged is me and Debbie. We look the same, but the truck looks so much better. It's gotten younger. So let's put the hood on it, some lights, and we'll video that. And I think we're getting close to being done for this week. Go put these bolts back in the bin. Well, actually, I'm gonna put them here and I'll clean the paint off of them later. So let's hang this door. And yesterday, I figured out we gotta leave this hinge off. I'll put in the door and then slide them both on. This thing's filthy. Let me blow it off. It's got a few years of dust on it. Dirt dog. That's on my truck. Okay, so I'm going to lift this heavy thing up, if you can hold the back side of it. You know what, I probably ought to, none of these holes are probably not too painted. I'll say set it right there for a moment. I got to get this hinge in here. If you're okay, let me find a screwdriver that I can line that up with. It's weird the way they did this back then. It's got there's the hinge goes in a gap, and we're about to close the door. Wait, open it up. There we go. Just don't pull back on it. It'll fall off if you pull back, but you can push in a little bit. It won't hurt. They fit between two layers of sheet metal, the outer sheet metal and the inner mounting plate, and when you tighten it up, it squeezes the sheet metal in, so when you pull it out, take it apart, it's tight. You know, it's not the way we would do it today. So I think that hinge will adjust a little bit because the holes are a little bit bigger than the giant 3/8 bolt that holds it on. Okay, I just got them lightly tightened up. Let's go up and into the same deal here. It's a double layer thing, so you got to kind of pound it in. Right? Hold it right there for a second. These bolts may not be long enough. I may have to go get, this one will be, but the other ones, yeah, I guess they will be. Okay, that's started. Let me get another washer and proper size bolt. And that's got the bolts in the upper hinge. Now let me put some in this bottom hinge. I think I want longer bolts down there. Let me grab 3 longer bolts. You guys will have to see my bolt bin. It's pretty amazing. I've used it for years, and I can work out of the thing for 2 or 3 years and not have to buy more bolts. And I did. We just bought more bolts recently, which we used to buy them every week. That's why I had so many, or not every week, every month. Let it down just a little, right down, right there. Don't be that guy. That bolt's really trying to be a jerk. It's all crooked. Phew, got it. Okay, let's get this one started. Now I scratched the door bad yesterday. Let it down just a little. You're raising it up. Down a little. Right there. What the heck? It seems like it started, but then it, okay, down some. Okay, that one definitely started. Where'd my big screwdriver go? I'm gonna try to line this one up. There we go. Something goofy with that front one.
The right side.
Okay, that may not be long enough. Or I think it is, so that means that I'm going to have to put a nut back there because I'm not going to take it apart and helicoil it. Let me grab a longer bolt and a nut. See my amazing bolt bends? I've got, except we got to have a talk with the bolt guy. Look at these 3/8 nuts. What kind of stuff did he sell me this time? There's what I'm supposed to have, and there's what I have. That's some kind of gigantic nut. I don't want that. That's when he comes back, we got to discuss this. kind of a new bolt guy. And I got all the weird stuff. All right. The problem with this is my arm's not long enough to reach down in there. Ah. Holy smokes, that hurts. Maybe I can go this way. I think it's going to be the same problem. Maybe I can put some tape on a wrench. Let me find a 9/16 wrench. Everything is out of socket today. It was in a drawer. Why would it be in a drawer? Wrenches aren't supposed to be in a drawer when we're working on cars. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to line my wrench with a piece of tape. Stick that nut in there. And see if I can get a light in the door. They did not give you much room inside of a 53 cab over. And the problem with this is, if I put the light at the top, I'm going to be putting my arm at the bottom. I can't see. I'll try if I can get my arm in this little bitty hole. All right, so I can just do this. Oh man, what are you talking about? Except I probably got that a little bit too tight. I didn't mean to, but this Ugga Dugga machine is pretty fast. All right, so now I got to run a couple bolts in here before I close that door and make a mess. Those black hinges are kind of bugly. They should have been red, I think. Guess what? They're going to stay black. Uh-oh, that don't work. What's it hitting? The other one just worked perfect. This one not so much. I don't see it hitting anything. Maybe it's just the spring. No. Oh, I swear I just bolted that. I just ran that bolt down.
Wait.
See that? I just ran that down. Okay, that's the shop gremlin. I can reverse that camera and see that I ran that bolt down. But something backed it up. All right, so it's got to come out at the bottom. It's got to come, well, it's hard to say it's got to come up in the back, but it really doesn't. I don't know what it's hitting. See where the paint's getting scratched. Okay, where did I say it needed to come out? Top or bottom? Bottom. Of course, that's the one that's hard. That's that bolt that was just being cantankerous. There's not a lot of out adjustment on the bottom. So I'm going to raise it up. That's it. All right, now let's do it again. I can feel it dragging something. I think it's hitting right here. Yeah, it's hitting right there in that drip gutter. That drip rail looks like it needs to hammer in a little bit or forward, but there's something else not happy. I think it's in here somewhere. I can force it closed. Let's force it closed a few times and see where the pain is. It's not happy. I'm not seeing it. Got to be a sign of paint rub somewhere. Well, maybe I need to rub it a little bit more. Okay, so right there, that's at the bottom. And the way I'm telling that, this is the way you kind of look for. Come back here and look at this door. So I'm squeezing it. Come back here. See, it's not moving down here, but if you look up here, it's moving. So it's hitting somewhere right here. That's kind of odd because I don't see a sign of it. All right, we're on CSI now because it's hitting somewhere. It could be it's at the front. It's causing the same event. When it hits, it pulls down though. Okay, so if I pull down, it doesn't. It's pretty free. Maybe it's at the top. Maybe my lesson didn't lesson out so well. So I'm going to check that with it shut and in position. The top all moves, except that doesn't move. Everything moves except that. All right, so I'm narrowing it down. I'm wondering if those bolt heads are hitting each other because they're kind of big bolts. What would I do about that other than grind the bolt down a little bit? But see how you can see the bolts are really thick. Focus so we don't get in trouble. Okay, the bolt heads are very thick, and here too. So I'm thinking maybe when they're closing, they're hitting each other. Let's do something. Let's put a little piece of tape on them. We had somebody that's viewing experience was less than on par because our camera didn't focus. We're going to have a talk with Apple. Make that thing focus faster. It sounds just like it's hitting back here at the back. That's what's crazy.
Sounds like right here.
It does. See if that's doing it. Okay, that's not it. It's not the bolts, which is probably a good thing. And on the top one, you can't let the door up and down. You can on the bottom. So there's only so much adjusting that this thing will do. And I don't want to go, it's very close right there as well. Look at now, that's got to be rubbing down here somewhere. If it was rubbing there, I would see it in the paint. And I don't.
Look at the corner.
I know, I chipped it. That's from me setting it down or something. That's hitting right there somewhere. I don't know what's going on. All right, so what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to let the bottom go forward just a little bit. It really doesn't have much room though. The gap is pretty tight everywhere. Okay, right here. It's hitting right there. So the gap is loose here and loose up there. It's an old truck. but it's hitting right there. You can actually see the paint rubbing. All right, so what do? I can raise the front of the whole door a little bit. Not the easiest thing to do. Basically got to start over. I'm going to put a piece of tape on this hinge so as I start over I've got a reference point to come back to in and out. But I got to raise it up a little bit. So I got to loosen all the hinges. Wonder which way I want to raise it. Do I have room in the door to raise it? Not really. I'm going to have to loosen the ones that I put the tape on, thinking it was the bolt. I'm going to make a mark on those so I don't, with tape, so I don't lose my in and out, because it's pretty close in and out. So I'm going to loosen that. And then I'm going to loosen the door. Now, that's where it gets hard. I need an extra hand. But that's as high as, that right there is as high as I'm going to be able to push that. That's worse, but it's probably somewhere else now. I'm gonna go inside of it and see if I see it hitting anywhere in here. Ouch. That's hitting at the bottom. I think it's just not scratching the paint yet. I would think it would show a rub spot, but I'm sure that that's hitting right here somewhere. Whatever the case is, I think it's too high in the bottom hinge. Let's loosen it out. I'm gonna get down here and hold it with my knee. It's probably just gonna work, barely, no matter where I go, because it does not fit like a new car. All right, that's it. So we're very close to the drip rail here. We got nice clearances here. The door gap's pretty decent, but it's, let me see what that is. It's never going to be perfect. I thought it was hitting right there, and it's not. Okay, there's somewhere right here. Okay, it's not at the back. That sounds just like it's at the back, but it's not. It's actually, that's, you know, that's hitting the drip rail. Drip rails obviously, see, it's broke loose. That's not what we're hearing. It's more solid than that. It's not at the top, because I can bend the whole top. When I do this, the whole back of the door. If it was hitting at the bottom and I squeezed it up here, the bottom wouldn't move. And it moves everywhere except, and that, you can see that jiggle when I do that. I think the top of the door needs to come out a little bit. Boy, it sounds like a back. That's what's so creepy, is it sounds like it's at the back, and I don't think it is. I'm going to loosen top. And I really don't want to move the top out because the door twist was about right. But I feel like it was right there somewhere. You know, once it's latched, that'll probably be about right. I think I'm gonna move that back in at the top because it made the door twist wrong. Down at the bottom is right and it's sticking out at the top, so I'm going back with it. And then the latch, it's gonna act like a spring. It's gonna be a spring-loaded door. It'll be fine. Okay, we want to go in just a skosh. I guess I got to loosen it more. Oh, it's loose. So when that's latched, whatever it's hitting is it hits just after it's would be latched. So done. Done. So now here's something to think about. And our fans, our audience, our viewers, whatever they are, our people that we're thankful to have can vote. What do you think about this door in here? What's your opinion? So the original one, of course, we got a garnish molding that's painted gray that goes here, and they had a piece of cardboard. It's like gray, it just fit in here. That's the only door panel. That gets a panel, and I don't have them. I'll have to make some, and then I'll probably get some snap-in plugs. But do we want to, I fixed this. When I painted them, I actually did the body work on that door. Do we want to paint that? I mean, leave that painted, or do we want to cover it in leather, or do we want to make one whole door panel? The whole door panel is going to be complicated. That's a hard to do door.
Paint.
Huh?
Paint.
Leave it painted and then just do the leather. What if the leather clashes though? Boy, it's close though. It looks good.
Paint.
So we can do this in leather, right? And leave it painted. So what I need, hear that? We need some more of this stuff. You know, some of that sticky back chrome. I've got a few pieces in here, but probably not enough. We need to line the inside and the outside because I don't want a tin can. But they can tell us what they think. If they want leather on it, you may get overridden. Let me get my arm back in here. I got to get on my one goofy nut. And tighten it up the hard way. Okay, one stripped out nut. That's tight, that's tight. Make sure those are all tight now. So what we got to do next is door latch and the rear window channel. You have to have the latch in before you can put the rear run channel in. So that's not too shabby. It fits like garbage, honestly. But that's just the way it is. I can't do much about it. I'd like to pull that bottom hinge out. If I pull the bottom hinge out, it actually needs that. Why did you not do that? She's supposed to be watching what I do. Well, here's the problem. I can't pull the bottom hinge out. That hinge is all the way out. I'll try it one more time. I'm pretty sure that's not going to go out any further. They only gave you so much adjustment on these things. And it's kind of maxed out. any more than this, and it's got to be, I don't know what we'd have to do. Any more than this, and it's just going to stay where it's at. That helped a little bitty bit. I'm good with that. I don't want it to fit right because it's a piece of junk anyway. It's supposed to be bad fitting, but that's not terrible. The fenders actually fit really good. All this stuff is just like almost watertight. There's a little bitty bit of a gap right there, but you don't have to show that. Don't be showing that. All right, so let's do a latch. I gotta get, this is our next affair right here. See my toolbox? I just move it from side to side. So somewhere around here is the other half of this, and it's painted gold. Not that that's cool, but that's a spray can that was sitting close nearby when I did this, I guess. The new ones are going to be silver, aren't they? CAD plated. So let's put this in first. This is genuine 1953 Chevrolet. I got to put my VIN plate on too, which I did find this morning because it's been in my toolbox drawer for 5 years now. And I got lucky and went right to it. That's the caveat of having too many projects. You have too many parts sitting around. All right, that was easy. This is next. And I remember these trucks when they have that door panel on, and I really don't like it, but we're in kind of a hurry. I'll probably have to leave it. And what I don't like, and I'll show you when I get this thing up here, the door panel rubs all this stuff. It's not, you know, I guess it was, in its defense, it was a work truck. And they didn't try to make them. My new truck is a work truck too, but it's also a Cadillac. And that's really tight. Okay, so see there's a spring and a washer and a square or rectangle notch. There, it went right on that direction. So that's pretty cool. At 70, did the math yesterday. This bad boy's 71 years old. So I'm going to, got that locked, there we go. Put this on and then I'll have to, okay, so see all that arm and stuff? That you would think that would be inside the door. But that's sticking out here. So when you put the cardboard plate on, it's rubbing all that. And it kind of bubbles out. I remember how they looked and I don't really like it. But if you ever see my truck, it's going to have a bubbled panel. I really don't want to put, we could put bear jaw latches in it like we did in so many street rods. I don't want that. I want the real deal. Okay, I don't know where my door handle is. Let me grab one from this side. And I screwed it on naturally. I got brand new ones upstairs. I'm okay with patina outside, but I like all my chrome trims and things like that. I like them to be nice. I'm just using this to check to make sure it's working before we move on. Oh, so that works. This has to be up here, and then that locks it. Open, lock, I think. Yeah, there. So if it was engaged in the truck, you raise it up, lock the door. That's pretty cool. I'll say what we got next is the outside handle. I hope we can find the key because it's only got a key on one side. And I've got remote control door locks, but I don't know if I have time to put them on. I think we're going to be doing it with a key. And reaching across the truck. I don't think, you know how on a 55 Chevy you can lock the door and then shut it and it stays locked, hold the button in? I don't think that works on this thing. I think you have to reach across the truck and raise that handle up. So it's kind of inconvenient. But for those of you that might steal it, it's going to be locked. For those of you that are honest, it may not get locked. Man, it's dark in here. Okay, so but even if it's not locked, it will have an alarm. I do have that. It'll probably have trickery where even if you got in it. You know what, I'm going to move this down. I don't like it as high as it's supposed to be. I'm just going to guess for now. And we got to trim off the dealer part and the white border. That's just kind of stuck on. I should charge Nolan for running that. Send Nolan a bill for advertising. Well, then we'll take it off. I'm going to put comp cam on there. I'm going to put Brian Tooley on there. Do you think Brian Tooley would make a cam for this? All right, so let's check the latch. Oh, nice. All right, that's it. That's all we can do. Now it's time for a hood, which I'm more excited about, and then a grill. So the hood, we're going to set the camera up because Debbie's going to be flexing on that big hood. I've got to bolt the hinges on the, I don't know if I bolt them on the cowl first or the hood first, but I got to figure that out. So we'll be back in a few minutes. I've got my old lights that were on the front fenders of that thing. They had the red and the clear lens, and we couldn't find them anywhere. I guess they don't make them anymore. So Debbie was able to come up with yellows. I think they'll look okay. I mean, they're turn signals, so they can be yellow on both sides. I'm gonna go ahead and put them back on. I've got to get new sockets or parts of the socket, the spring and the wire and the contact. But I'm having to, I noticed when I tried to put it together that this lens has a bump to locate it in the light socket, and the lamp itself has a bump, so they don't go together. Two bumps don't work. So I'm gonna die grind that out. That smells so good. It reminds me of when I was in junior high. I had a plastics class. I think that's what they actually called it. It was in junior high. Yeah. Uh-oh. What the heck? Let's see. What just went wrong? Oh, no, that's right. I guess I just put it on wrong. Yep. I put it on the wrong screw holes. But we would use plexiglass back then and glue it together with different colors of, I guess it was basically acetone and some kind of colorant. And we could laminate the stuff together in layers and make, man, we made everything. Rings, knives. Can you imagine now? I guess they probably called them letter openers back in the day when I was in school, but we literally made knives, and we had all the buffers, sanders, grinders, drills, and it smelled just like that. It was plexiglass. I remember it wasn't in my class, it was in one of the classes where they were using a buffer, and some girl with long hair got her hair caught in that buffer, and they said it scalped her. It pulled the hair right out of her head. So we were tougher back then, at least I think. So there it is. There's a yellow light. Let's see what it looks like on the truck out here. Man, I put the grill in. It looks so good. I'm actually getting excited about the whole thing. I'm just going to throw this up here as a test to see what it looks like. Excuse the fact that I don't have my mic on, but I didn't want to take the time to put it on. Oh yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to put the clear light down in the corner. I've got those with glass lenses. I wasn't sure I wanted the turn signals on the fender, but what the heck? I mean, I think it adds. So one of the things I'm going to do is, I've got to do, not going to do, I've got to put mirrors on it. And I've got baby West Coast mirrors. Some of you will know what that is, but it's a square mirror, stainless steel with ribs, and then it's got the bars that go back, you know, old school West Coast style. And I think I'm going to use them. It's kind of not sporty, but when I get finished with the truck, it's really not about being sporty. It's kind of about being commercial, except, you know, kind of modern commercial. So I think those big, and they're not the big West Coast mirrors, they're baby West Coast mirrors. So got the hood all worked out. I had to make a little change to one of the support rods because the new master cylinder was, the reservoir is bigger. So I had to cut the rod. See if you can get in here. I had to cut this rod right here. Can I get it up there? Here, hold on a second. Let me get this lowered down. And had to, you can see where it was, where the gray primer was, and I had to move it over. So I put a nut in there just to clear this big chunky master cylinder lid. But it works really good, the hood. And I've decided that I'm not even going to put a hood latch on it. I don't want to deal with it, at least not right now. I may eventually. But right now, to get it ready to go to PRI show, the way I'm thinking about it is there's zero chance of that hood blowing open. You couldn't put enough air in that grill. It would go out the bottom before it would blow that hood open, and the air that's coming at it, it's just pushing it back into the truck. So it fits so good like it is, and I don't want to be welding and doing a bunch of stuff, and I don't like the idea of having a hood latch right here because it just is going to clutter up my otherwise clean under hood here. So I'd have to put something right here and up here. I just don't think I want to do that. So I think I'm going to leave it hood latchless. And I really like the way it looks in there. I put this trim piece on for the first time since I took it off when I first started this project. And I'm really liking the way it looks. My question earlier was to Debbie, do I paint the grill and work the dents out of it? This thing was really beat up when I got it. I've split it. I fabricated this out here. It was junk bit. So I may have done that one too. I don't remember. The grill I had to split in several places because it was so beat up. and it looks like Frankenstein, but this is just black primer. It's epoxy primer. I kind of like it. She likes it better after it's installed. She said that I should do the body work on the grill and the surround and paint it. And if I did, I'd paint it semi-gloss black or flat black like it is. That'll be something I'll do after everything else is done, if I have time before the PRI show. I think it's going to stay like that because I want to build the bed and do a really nice job on the bed. And I don't want to compromise that or the interior before the show. So if you go to the PRI show, you may see the hammered grill. And this stuff is incredibly thick. That's like 14 gauge. This may even be thicker than 14 gauge. That grill itself, I don't know, I bet it weighs 40 pounds. And the surround is fairly heavy, but it's not that complicated. So the steel is thick in it. It's not just sheet metal. It's like made to run over cows. Anyway, I'm going to get the other light done and put the little corner lights on right there. Turn signals, park lights, I guess. So I'll get that on. Waiting for headlight bucket adjuster screws, and I'll put the headlights in. I can't wait to do that. That's going to make it look complete, and then we'll go to the mirrors. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I have to go back to real work. So that was pretty exciting for me. This thing's looking like a truck. Unfortunately, you didn't get to see all of it because, like I said, there was nobody here to film. But look at that glass. That's so nice looking. I love it. We had that cut several years ago. Unfortunately, I've lost the striker plate somewhere, and that's a real pain. We're waiting on those to come in, and then I can actually latch the doors. All the lights are in, and all the lights are functioning, and they're kind of mean. So I'll show you those here in just a minute, but the windows go up and down. I'll show you that. We got the rubber for the fenders, which is really nice stuff. It's reproduction. I was surprised we could even get it. Unfortunately, the mats for the running boards, we got 2 of one side and 1 of the other. So we had to send those back. Hopefully they'll be here in a couple days. But that was it for this episode. The truck's almost a truck, and I'll insert some clips here of the windows going up and down and the lights working, because there's kind of a cool surprise with the lights. I think you'll like it. Kind of cool. Remote control? Yeah, no big deal, is it? Someone gave us these lights for this truck. They had them and they didn't use them. Check this out. That's pretty cool. So you can change colors. There's all different colors with this thing. There's different patterns. You can make them fade in and out. One of the coolest things, if I think somebody needs to get out of my way in the daytime. But anyway, that's just kind of a gimmicky thing. But as you can see, the headlights are in. The headlights are blinding. They're insane. The headlights are in. The park lights are in. The turn signals are in, but they won't flash right now because there's not enough load on them. But they both work. So it's getting there. It's really coming along good. Now, the windows, they were a pain. That's a whole different story. I'm going to show you a few of the aftermaths of how hard it is to do this window. And the reason it was hard, and I got to take the doors off and put a spring in this side. This part's going to remain painted. So I didn't want to cut, drill, or do anything to disturb this ribbed interior panel. This is the only opening I had, and this one, to put this window regulator in. I did have to cut a little bit in here, which doesn't hurt anything because that's where the leather panel will be. But there's a bar, and this is the only visible screw. I made a bar go in, and it welds in here, but it bolts out here. And then the window regulator is supported at the bottom on this It's a piece of 3/4 inch square tube. Just to get that tube in here, it's that long. I think it was 31 inches long. It had to be done just right. It would only barely fit. So the window regulator is bolted here, here, and down here, as well as the motor that's back here is bolted to that piece of tubing. And then I had to put the windows in. So the run channels, that was easy. I'd already made the front channel because it used to have a wing window right here. And that was the run channel. But now I've got a new run channel in here and it all works good. We'll run them up and down. So just to show proof of concept here. That's pretty good. I like the way the action is smooth. It doesn't hesitate. So the window regulators work really well. I don't like, sometimes people put window regulators in, and even I can do it, where you can tell they're straining. Those bottom out on their stops like they're supposed to. There is a stop down in here because you don't want them to go down too far. And you don't want them to come up too far. So there you have it. Now all I got to do is run the switches to my console, which I've already got in the console. I just got to run the wiring there. Windows, boom, done stamp. Thanks for watching.